Hey Survivor, Seth Yates, day 229, baby. Send Seth to Survivor is in full effect. And I want to tell you a little story because I saw an interview with Jeff Probst, and he was talking about adaptation, and he considers Parvati, sorry, I cannot say her name. He thinks she played the greatest season ever because of the way she adapted. And I'm going to tell you a story about how adaptive I am, okay? And I'm not making a bit of this up. I swear to you, everything, even from these guys calling me coach, okay? So I used to play a lot of basketball when I was young, and I went to college one day, went to the college where I went and to play, and there was no one there. So I stop at this basketball court on the way home. There's 3 guys playing. There's 3 black dudes playing. And look, I'm the most non-racist, don't give a shit about skin color one bit. I don't like that people discriminate against other people because of their skin color, and I don't like people that benefit from their skin color and they use it and throw it in your face. I don't like that. I don't care about skin color. I fully believe people should be judged on their merits, who they are, how they treat people. And that's how I view people, and I guess if I judge people, it's because how they treat me. Okay, that's it. So here I am. These guys are playing basketball, and I said, you guys mind if I play? And they were like, no. So they were like, go ahead, come on in, sure. So I go to the other end, and I'm getting warmed up, and all of a sudden 10 cars pull up, 10, 12 cars pull up, like 40 guys. I'm the only white guy there, okay? But I don't care. These guys all go to one end, they're getting warm, and they're ready to play, so a couple of them come down to me. And obviously the one dude was the leader of the pack, okay? Great big dude, looked like an NFL linebacker. I mean, this guy looked like a Greek god, okay? And he comes down with his buddies, and he said, hey, coach, you going to play with us? And I said, sure. So you may know coach, Tony Coach from the 90s Bulls there, greatest team ever. So what happened was I started playing. These guys were rough, though. I didn't get down low. I didn't get in the middle. I played point. I shot from the outside. I took it nice and easy. But, I adapted. I knew where I was. I knew that I was, no offense to these guys, but I knew that I was the outcast, basically. I was the odd man out, the new kid on the block. And literally, I looked like one of the new kids on the block, And these guys were cool. Nobody judged me. They let me play. And I did pretty well. So it comes down, but as it went along, it got more intense. Just like Survivor. Sometimes Survivor starts off kind of slow, but then every week it intensifies, it builds, it grows, it strengthens. And that's what happened. So by the time we got down to the end, it was my team against Debo's team. And Debo was bruising people up, beating people up inside. So the ball kicks out, comes to me, and we ran this little screen, and I popped a 3, and we won the game. And the whole place shut down, okay? And Debo, and these guys have been calling me coach all day, right? Every time I'd hit a shot, they were screaming, coach, yeah, you know what I mean? So I hit this shot, and we win this game against Debo's team. And I guess Debo's team had lost. I don't know. Maybe this was the first loss of the day. But Debo comes out of the crowd, and his guys are with him. And they get right in my face. He gets right in my face. He said, nice shot, coach. And at that point, I had 2 choices. I could either back down from this guy and show him that he's the boss, or I could get in his face and have him annihilate me like a linebacker would annihilate a slot receiver coming over the middle. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you know what, I can adapt and I can turn this into an advantage for myself. So I stepped towards Debo. I looked Debo in the eye. I swelled up a little bit, as much as a little scrawny white kid could swell up. And I said, why you gotta call me coach? And he was in shock because he didn't expect me to stick up for myself. And I knew that I wasn't in the right place. I'm not much of a fighter. I just not. And I had no intention of fighting this guy anyway. I just didn't want to get out. I wanted to get out of there without getting killed, So I looked at him and I said, I'm not even left-handed. And the guys behind him started laughing. And then the crowd started laughing. And even Debo started laughing. And I adapted to that situation, and what could have been an ugly situation, because let's face it, there have been problems in the past, in human history, because of people's skin color. I don't operate that way. So I made a little joke, and I made some new friends, and I had one hell of a day playing basketball with those guys. And he gave me a high five. He gave me I guess a bro hug, for the lack of a better term, whatever the dab, I don't know what you call it, the dude hug, dab. I don't know what you call it. I call it a bro hug when again, I'm not trying to insinuate any kind of racism into it, but that's just what I call it. That's what everybody calls it. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, that's how I adapted in a very stressful situation. What could have been a terrible situation, but I didn't. So when you say that Parvati can adapt to a game that's fully fueled and funded and fed by the producers and by the show, and yes, they have to earn different things, there's no situation I can't adapt to, because that could have turned out really bad for a lot of people. But I turned the situation into a more positive and more fun situation, and I'm proud of that, and I played basketball with those guys, and I had a great time. I had no ill will towards any of them. I hope they didn't towards me. I sure as hell hope none of them hated me because of the color of my skin. That's that's unfair. None of us can change that. So that's the cool thing about Survivor, though, is the diversity. I mean, you look at the winners, there's guys, there's girls, there's old, there's young, there's white, there's black, there's blue and green. It doesn't matter. None of that matters, because all that matters is how you treat people and how you adapt to the changes that life throws at you. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to tell you my little story about how I can adapt as well as anyone, even Jeff's favorite, Parv.